Welcome back to Out of the Park. It is the 15th of July in 1871. We are in the business end of the season now for most teams. We are on the rundown, the countdown to the World Series. Teams trying to jockey for position, I should say, as they try to claim the number one spot in the National League. Rockford sitting a half game back. Fort Wayne sitting a full game back. And both of them chasing the Chicago White Stockings, who are just within reach. A massive National League clash here today for you. This is actually the return leg of a home and home between these two. Rockford winning the previous match by a score of 14-2. And now Fort Wayne have to go on the road to Rockford to see if they can get that game back against the Forest Citys. Welcome in, everybody. It's the 10-9 Rockford Forest City. I'm sorry, the 10-9 Fort Wayne Kekiongas against the 11-11 Rockford Forest Citys. The Forest Citys, before we get this game going, have just 10 left in the season. 13 before we get this game going for Fort Wayne. So both of them in the second half of the season. Remember, it is a 32-game season, and we are really on the rundown to the end of July. We have about a half dozen, just over a half dozen games left, I believe, before we are done July and into August. So the season's starting to take shape, but it's a lot of uncertainty in this National League. Three teams jockeying for the top spot with Troy being the team really that's out of it. They have Troy has 10 games remaining. They are 8 games back. Pretty much their season over. But this one, I mean, the pennant race is still alive and well in the National League despite that. Right. Let's get into the starting lineups here tonight. We'll start with the visiting Fort Wayne Kekiongas. Shortstop Dickie Flowers will lead things off. 381 batting average, 8 RBIs so far this season. He is 3 for 6 versus Dick McBride this season. Count Sensendorfer will settle into number 2 spot. Center fielder's batting .267 with 11 RBIs. He is 3 for 7 versus McBride this season. Jimmy Wood, the second baseman, will settle in the number 3 spot. He's batting .337, 1 home run, 17 RBIs. He is 3 for 5 against McBride this season. So that 1, 2, 3 spot, the real heavy hitters for Fort Wayne against McBride, they have 9 hits against him, which is more than the entire rest of the team combined. The rest of the team, including Steve King in the 4th spot, the left fielder, batting .264, 10 RBIs this season. He is 0 for 8 versus McBride. Harry Schaefer is the 5-spot hitter, the third baseman, batting .235 with 6 RBIs this season. He's 2 for 6 versus McBride. Wes Finsler, the first baseman, settles in the 6th spot, batting .345 with 12 RBIs this season. He is 0 for 8 versus McBride this season. Fergie Malone, the catcher, in the 7th spot, 10 RBIs, .237 average so far this season, 1 for 8 versus McBride. Dave Birdsall is in the 8th spot. The right fielder is batting with .319 with 17 RBIs, but just 1 for 8 versus McBride this season. George Zetlin, the pitcher, settles into 9th spot, batting .231. He's on a bit of a hitting streak. He's got 8 RBIs this season. He's 1 for 4 versus McBride. We'll come back to the pitching matchups in a moment. Let's go over the lineup for the starting, or the hometown, Rockford Forest Citys. Leading off will be third baseman Cap Anson, .376 average with 14 RBIs so far this season. He is 3 for 8 versus Zetlin so far this season. Second, batting second will be left fielder George Hall. He's got 19 RBIs, 4 home runs this season with a 305 average. He's 2 for 7 versus Zetlin. Ross Barnes, the second baseman's in the 3 spot. He's got a 327 average with 13 home RBIs. 3 for 7 with a 3 for 7, I should say, so far this season against George Zetlin. Lip Pike, the hottest hitter maybe in all the majors. He bats 4th. He's got 6 home runs, 25 RBIs with a 327 average, 2 for 6 off Zetlin, including 1 of those 6 home runs. Doug Allison is in the 5 spot, the catcher, batting .346 with 22 RBIs so far this season. He is 3 for 7 versus Zetlin. Joe Start, the six-spot hitter, the first baseman, batting .333 with 10 RBIs this season. He's 2 for 5 versus Zetland. George Bird, center fielder, is in the 7th spot. .261 average for him. He's got 15 RBIs this season. He's yet to get a hit off off Zetland in 7 at-bats so far this season. George Wright, the shortstop, batting 8th. Good Lord. 247th average. He's got a 9 RBIs so far this season. He's 2 for 7 versus Zetland. And then Dick McBride, the pitcher, will round things off. He is on a hitting streak himself. 9 RBIs, 357 average. He is 5 for 7 versus Zetland so far this season. Here come all the halftime scores getting spammed in chat. So if you're into football, there's all the halftime scores. Let's go over your pitching matchup. George Zetland settles in on the mound for the Fort Wayne Kekiongas. He is 10-9 in 19 starts with a 3.5 ERA, a 1.36 WHIP. He is 0 for 2 with a 10.03 ERA versus Rockford so far this season. His counterpart will be Dick McBride, 10-10 in 22 starts this season. He's got a 2.25 ERA with a 1.19 WHIP. He is 2-0 with just a 1.0 ERA against the Kekiongas so far this season. Partly cloudy skies, 69 degrees for those of you that use Celsius. That's about 21. And we've got ourselves a cracking matchup for you. It is a 1:05 first pitch, starts from the Agricultural Society Fairgrounds in Rockford, Illinois. We are about ready to get underway with this match between the Fort Wayne Kekiongas and the Rockford Forest Citys. Before we begin, we got to have our first inning sponsor. Before we begin as well, it's time for the national anthems. Here they are, the national anthems. There you have it, the national anthems. We are ready. Let's get into our first inning sponsor here today. Oh my God, I can't type apparently. Ziggurat is an awesome football manager, Euro Truck Simulator, Arc Raiders streamer. He's part of 2 great network saves in the FM community, one with KJ Plays, David Nyholm, and Hludu, the other one with Coach Zanko and Bubba McGinty. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The great Ziggurat will sponsor our first inning here today. Right, there's all the start of the second half scores about the spam chat. But yeah, definitely go follow Zig, guys, if you haven't already. We are ready to get underway now between this matchup with the Fort Wayne Kekiongas and the Rockford Forest Citys. And here we go with the first pitch from the Agricultural Society Fairgrounds. There we go. It's a 1:05 first pitch start. Here we go. First pitch underway. Massive game here in the National League. Rockford have spent most of the season under 500. They've just got back to 500. And they're not yet out of the pennant races. That's taken for a called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. But they're trying to continue the steam train rolling towards the top of the National League. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's taken in there for a strike. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's high, ball 1, 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch. He's taking that high, 2-2. Here's the 2-2. That's grounded foul. We'll do it again. The 2-2. Inside, ball 3. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Rounded over to short. Throw on the first. That's in time, and Flowers is retired. 6-3 on the putout. That'll bring up Count Sensendorfer, the center fielder. First pitch to Sensendorfer. And he's popped this up into right field. Right fielder's there. He's going to make the grab. And on the first pitch, Sensendorfer is retired. 2 down now. That's going to bring up Jimmy Wood. Wood takes the first pitch. Check swing, they're going to ask. And he held up, said the third base umpire, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And that is popped up high into right field. Right fielder's going to make a diving catch. He's got it. The diving play by right fielder Limp Pike. That was dropping very quickly. Pike hustled to get over there. He went full extension, and he gets both hands on it for the final out. What a play by Limp Pike. Right, we are going to take, well, the ads are here in what, 33? Let's see if we can take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom first here in Rockford. Cap Anson will lead things off. It'll be George Zetlin on the mound. Here's the first pitch to Anson. And it winds up the kicks, delivers. That's outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that is taken for a called strike. It's 1-1. How's everybody doing today, by the way? Hope everyone's well. I saw that you said that Mac are down to 10, and they're probably going to lose versus the Merthyr side, which is unfortunate. But still a good season for them, given it's a promotion year. Here's the 1-1. That's taken off the plate away, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And he's popped this up into right field. Right field is going to come over to his right, and he's going to make the grab. That's one away. That'll bring up George Hall, the left fielder. First pitch to Hall. He's fouled that off 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded over to first. And the pitcher comes over there and he covers the bag. That'll be 2 down. That brings up Ross Barnes, second baseman. First pitch to Barnes. He's taking that high, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1. That's fouled into the seats, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Off the plate away, and it's 2-2. Goodja. Welcome in. Thank you for the sub, Goodja. 16 months. That's wild, bro. How's your stream going? Did you raid out? Are you still going? You are still going. Nice. Thank you so much, dude. Oh. That is not the drop I wanted. Thank you. I got a notification on Twitch that was like, you got a drop, and it was for Marvel Rivals, and I'm like, who the hell am I following that's playing? Who the hell do I have tapped up that swapped over to Marvel Rivals? Yeah, big win yesterday too, right? Looking all right. We might just do it. Thank you again, Coach. I appreciate you, bro. The 2-2 pitch. Here we go. Guys, go follow Dave if you haven't. Go follow Goodja if you haven't already. This is shot into center field way back there, and that one's going to be off the wall. This could be a triple bagger. He's going to third. The throw's going to come in. He is safe at third. And Barnes has got a triple. Rockford got a runner 90 feet away. Yeah, if you aren't following Goodja, I'll give Goodja a proper shout-out at the top of one of the innings. But if you aren't already following the Goodja, give him a follow. He's live right now with his FMC. Real awesome guy. Pat Witz, what's good, Pat? Great to see you, man. How you doing? Here's Lip Pike, the right fielder, settling in. First pitch to Pike. Check swing. They're going to ask. And it's our home plate umpire is going to call it a strike anyway. It's 0-1. Doing okay, nice, man. So I got another piece of art back overnight, and it was from one of the artists I was really looking forward to. It looks amazing. I haven't uploaded it yet. I'm going to probably tomorrow night. So trying to regain some sleep from time to time, bro. I feel that. I woke up last night at 4:40 in the morning. Like 4:40 a.m. is when I woke up. And I did not fall back asleep until almost 6:30. And in that time, my accountant called me twice over my taxes. But they're handled. The taxes are handled. We're good to go. I have to do the county taxes, which I can do tomorrow night after stream. But, yeah, like that was... Man, what a pain in the ass. I hate doing taxes. He's great. He's phenomenal. But it was awful not being able to fall back asleep right away. and then being up for 2 hours. And then I knew it was going to happen too. I literally was laying there going, I am actually going to fall back asleep because my alarm was set for 8, like 15. And I'm like, I am actually going to fall back asleep, and then I won't wake up to the alarm. And I didn't. I woke up naturally at like 9:45. And while I'm out. So sounds good, Stuart. Enjoy your day out, man. So I was like, I'm gonna wind up sleeping through the alarm, and the alarm was set for 8:15. I woke up at 9:45, and I was like, fuck. I was supposed to be live 45 minutes ago. God damn it. So. I woke up the last time you streamed, but didn't know if I clicked it on my phone. Missing a lot. It's Pat. It's all right, brother. It's never expected, always appreciated, my man. I just hope you're well, man. I had like the same. I said just a few more minutes. That I was late for an hour to work. Yeah. So I knew it was coming too, but I was like, I'm not gonna fight this by trying to roll out of bed and do an entire 13-hour stream on 4 hours sleep. You know what I mean, or 4.5 hours sleep. So I got a little bit more. I've had me some tea. I finished my tea, so we're good there. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Lip Pike. That's way inside. That gets by the catcher as well. Is that going to be a wild pitch? It's a passed ball, and Barnes comes in to score. Rockford take the lead. It's 1-0. Here's the 1-1 to Lip Pike. He's ripped that right back up the center base hit. And Pike's aboard with a 2-out single. That'll bring up catcher Doug Allison. You saw a skull clip, so funny. Feel free to post it here if you want. Or you can post it in clips in the Discord as well. Here's the first pitch to Allison. And that is, I think it's in there for a strike. Yeah, it's in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Allison. He's shot that right back at the pitcher, and Zetlin has got it with both hands, and the side is retired. 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the top of the second. It is 1-0 Rockford. 4, 5, 6 spots due up for the Kekiongas. Steve King will be the first man up. New inning means new sponsor. Pixelated Suits is an awesome Colombian-American streamer. Streams skate, football manager, Fallout series, a little bit of everything. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Also did some BF6. The great Pixelated Suits is our sponsor for today's second inning. Top second, Steve King settling in to the batter's box. Here's the first pitch to him from Dick McBride. And he's fanned at that one. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And he's popped this one up in left field. Left fielder coming over there. Is that going to drift foul? It's going to land foul. We'll do it again. 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's high, ball 1. The 1-2 is popped up into shallow center. Shortstop's going back there. He makes the grab. And Steve King is retired. Retro, what's good? How you doing, man? I'm doing great. Honestly, I'm doing fantastic. How are you, man? Here's Harry Schaefer, the third baseman. First pitch to him. And he has popped this one up to the shortstop. He's got it. And that's 2 away. That's going to bring up Wes Fissler. Here's the first pitch to Fissler. Fischler lines this in the left. Is that going to stay fair? No. It goes foul. All the better of seeing a legend like yourself. Oh, stop it. Who's Newcastle got this weekend, by the way? Here's the 0-1. And that is off the plate, 1-1. Here's the Palace. Okay, that's winnable. Here's the 1-1. He's going to take that high. Ball 2. 2-1 now. Here's a 2-1 pitch. That is popped up deep into left. Left fielder's there, though. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. Bossman, you seem happy, Benny, today. Anything to do with a certain 4-0 win yesterday, my friend? It's not so much a 4-0 win. I appreciated that. Don't get me wrong. I'm so happy. How's your FM save going? We are 12-1-0 at the halfway mark, and we're topped by 11 in the new league. Why am I getting a video over? I'm getting a encoding issue. Okay, that was odd. I just had an encoding error pop up at the bottom of the of OBS. That was odd. Anyway, it's going well. We're topped by 11 at the halfway mark. Moss, I'm doing. I'm really good. The West Ham win was definitely a help. Don't get me wrong. What is going on with this? Okay, let me. I think I know how to resolve it, so I'm just going to go there. Consider turning down video settings or using it faster encode. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close some tabs. Let me close some tabs. I think I'm getting the encoding issue because Skull rated out and it had to load the tab. So let me close that tab real quick. And I'm going to close. Okay, I'm going to close that tab as well. Right, and hopefully that alleviates some of the pressure on OBS. Anyway, so yeah, I am happy about West Ham. What I will say is I have been commissioning artists for art recently, and I started to get some of those pieces back, and that is like the biggest dopamine hit for me right now. And I got another one back overnight that's just breathtaking. So I'm super happy about it because some of the artists I've been like watching or following for a while, and I finally am like, oh, I can actually commission them now. I'm good to go. Like, so, because I've had the resources too. So that has been a blast. That's been so much fun. So yeah. It'd be funny as fuck if Spurs get relegated. Yeah, I mean, it would be. I'd feel really bad for David. I'm still getting encoding errors. I don't know why. Anyway, I probably need to alleviate more tabs real quick from Twitch, but we'll see. Gonna alleviate that one. Gonna alleviate that one. Gonna alleviate that one. Okay, there we go. It wouldn't. Yeah, I'd feel bad for you too, Moss. I would. Right. Let me reload because I can't seem to run the 90-second ad. The dashboard's bugging out on me. Anyway, right. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. Be good. New FM save for 27. I got a new 26 save starting tomorrow, by the way. Brand new FM save. The longest save's not going anywhere. We're still going to do that. But I have a once-a-month FM 26 save starting tomorrow. That's going to be fun. We're going to be live early for only about 5 hours. So how I explain, it's a surprise. It's a total surprise. So I'll be live early tomorrow, though, for it. Anyway, we're going to take a 90-second timeout. We will be back with more in a minute and a half. Right, we are back. I know you hate surprises, but I'm not gonna say, bro. I'm not gonna say. We're back. Bottom second in Rockford. Rockford leading 1-0. Settling into the batter's box is Joe Start. It's going to be the 6, 7, 8 spots. Here's the first pitch to start from George Zetlin. And he's going to take that on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fanned at that one, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he's ripped that in the left. That's going to get down. And that's a base hit for Joe Start to lead off the inning. Right, here's George Bird. He bunts it down. The throw over to first, they got him. So Bird goes with the sac bunt. That's going to move Start to second with 1 out. That's going to bring up George Wright. Shortstop. Here's the first pitch to Wright. And he's fouled that off. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. And that is shot into center. Center fielder's there. He's going to make the grab. And Joe Start cannot tag up and go to third. So he stays at second, and now there's 2 outs. Family okay, but it sounds great, man. Of course, man. Here's Dick McBride, the pitcher. Runner on second, 2 outs. First pitch to McBride. And he's going to take that on the inside part of the plate. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's fouled off, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. And that's lined right at the shortstop. He's got it. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. And they leave 1 man left on base. We go top third here in Rockford. And the Forest Citys still holding on to a 1-0 lead. 7, 8, 9 spots due up for Fort Wayne. It'll be Fergie Malone set to lead things off. But first, new inning, new sponsor. Coach Zanko is an awesome FM streamer. Here he is playing FM 26. Oh, this is going to be good. When Coach is pleased, this is good. Ooh. That's a great backheel assist. What? Woo, that's a beauty. That's a beautiful goal. Give him a follow if you haven't already. He's part of the Network Save with Zig and Bubba McGinty. He also plays Football Manager. He's the king of the youth-only save. Coach Zanko sponsors our third inning here tonight. Dick McBride back on the mound. It's Fergie Malone in the batter's box to lead things off. First pitch to Malone. That's inside. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And that's lined into center. Base hit from Fergie Malone. It's the first runner, the first base runner for Fort Wayne in this game. And it comes here in the top of the third. 1 on, nobody out for Dave Birdsall now, the right fielder. He's going to settle in. First pitch to Birdsall. He's grounded out foul, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Line back up the middle, base hit. And back-to-back base hits here for Fort Wayne. They get 2 on, nobody out. That's going to bring up pitcher George Zetlin. Here's the first pitch to Zetlin. He's lined that back up the middle, base hit. And the bases are loaded with nobody out here for Fort Wayne. Back-to-back base hits. What's up, QZ? Good to see you. Here's Dickie Flowers settling in. Bases loaded, nobody out. And he's popped this one up. In foul territory, third baseman's there. He makes the grab. And that's 1 away. My week's been good, man. How's yours? It's going to bring up Count Sensendorfer. All right, give me a sec here. Sorry. There we go. Sensendorfer flying out to right his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Sensendorfer. And he's going to take that for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is lined into left, right at the left fielder. No, it's going to drop. It's a base hit. The left fielder cuts it off. It's a base hit, and it's a run for Fort Wayne. They've tied the game at 1. RBI single for Sensendorfer. Scoring is Malone. Birdsall goes to third. Zetlin's on second. It's 1-1 game now. This brings up Jimmy Wood. He flied out to right his last at bat. First pitch to Wood. That's off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And it's inside, 2-0 now. The 2-0 pitch is popped up at the second baseman. He's got it, and that's 2 away now. That'll bring up Steve King. He flied out to the shortstop his last at bat. Bases loaded, 2 outs here. First pitch to him. That's high, but on the corner for a called strike. It's 0-1. Looked a little too high. Umpire said it was at the lettering. And here's the 0-1. That's grounded foul. We'll do it again at 0-2. Yeah, how have you been, QZ? I've been great, man. This has been a great 2 weeks. Here's the 0-2. Off the plate away, 1-2. The 1-2. Very close, but just off the plate, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3. He struck him out looking, and the side is retired. 1 run on 4 hits, and they left the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the third. It is a 1-1 game. 1, 2, 3 spots due up for Rockford. It'll be Cap Anson, the first man up. There we go. Okay, we are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Raz, thank you for the sub, man. 11 months is crazy, dude. Benny, you beautiful man. Lurk, just having dinner. Sounds fantastic, my guy. Enjoy your dinner. We are back bottom third here in Rockford. A 1-1 game. Camp Anson will lead things off. First pitch to Anson. And he's going to take that high, ball one. Here's the 1-0 to Anson. He's fouled that off. 1-1 now. Here's the 1-1. That's lined right at the first baseman. He's got it. And Anson is sat down. Here's George Hall. He grounded out his last at bat. First pitch to Hall. He's going to take that for a called strike right down broad. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And he's popped this one up in center. Center fielder's there. He makes the grab, and that's 2 away now. That'll bring up Ross Barnes. Barnes tripled his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Barnes. High and away, ball one. The 1-0 to Barnes. And he's popped this one up. That's going to go into the seats in right, though. It'll be foul. It's 1-1. The 1-1 to Barnes is going to be in there. Strike two. 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled behind home plate. It'll be 1-2 still. Here's the 1-2. And this is lined into center. Base hit. And Barnes has got himself a single. That'll bring up Lip Pike. Pike singled his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Pike. And he's popped it up in the infield. Shortstop's in. He makes the grab. And the side is retired. No runs on one hit. And they leave one man aboard. We go to the top of the fourth. It's a 1-1 ball game. The 5, 6, 7 spots due up for Fort Wayne. That is a bot, so we are going to be banning that bot. I don't know if Sass is here, but still. His program's really good. And when I ban somebody like that and click refresh, they wipe off the list of viewers, which is really nice. That's really nice. Right. New ending means new sponsor. The Goodja is an awesome football manager streamer. He's got a brilliant save called Eurosteel, where he has to win every trophy in all of the countries that have won the European Championships. Give him the follow. He's doing an amazing job on it, actually. He's at Bratislava now. But the Goodja sponsors the fourth inning here today. Right. Harry Schaefer settles in. He popped up to the shortstop his last at-bat. First pitch to Schaefer. And that's going to be in there for a called strike. Oh, no, that's off the plate away. High and away. I don't know about that one, Chief, but it misses high and away, ball one. Here's the 1-0. And this one he's popped up, shallow center. Shortstop's there. He tracks back and makes the grab. And that'll be one away. That's going to bring up Wes Fissler. He flied out to left his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Fissler. That's going to be in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's fouled off. 0-2 now. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's high, ball one. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. That is lined into right, base hit. And Fissler's got himself a single. That'll bring up Fergie Malone. He singled his last at bat. First pitch to Malone, and he waves at it. But then he pulls the bat back in time. It's 1-0 as it's a ball. Here's the 1-0. Bunts it down the third base line. Third baseman's there. Goes to second. They got the lead runner. He tried to sack, and he didn't get it. Is that 5-4 on the putout? Over to right at second. Right is the shortstop, so that's 5-6 on the putout. Now, here's a question. If it's a fielder's choice, it counts as an at-bat. If it's a sacrifice, it does not. It counts as a sack bunt. So it's a sack FC 5-6. And they throw Fissler out. Goal, nice. Nice. Throw over to first. The runner's back safely. Thank you for the hydrate, Viva. Welcome in. Welcome in, G&G. Happy Saturday. Merther 1, Mac 2 with 10 men. Amazing. What minute, Zig? That's got to be late in the game, right? What's it like? 3 minutes and added. Oh, God. Here's Dave Birdsall. He's single. G&G, I welcome in. As of right now, I got you. Pat is the 5th. Stewart's the 6th. Retro's the 7th. Moss is the 8th. Raz is the 9th. And I got you at the post-game show for the shout-outs, I mean. But welcome in, G&G, man. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Here's Dave Birdsall settling in. Runner on first, 2 down. First pitch to Birdsall. That's taken inside, but on the corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Did y'all see Arsenal lost today? Oh, my God. Here's the throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. Here's the 0-1. And that's ripped into left. That is a base hit. The bottling has begun. That's a double for Dave Birdsall. Going to third is Fergie Malone, and now it's 2 runners in scoring position with 2 out. So City have a game in hand. So now it's what it is City. So what? City were 9 points back, right? So if City win this weekend, they move 6. They have a game in hand. They win that, they move 3. They have to play Arsenal. They win that, they are level on points. That's crazy. I don't want either one to win the title. I can't stand either of them. Here's George Zetlin in the batter's box, the pitcher. Zetlin singled his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 0-1. They play each other next Sunday. Here's the 0-1. That's fouled down the third base side. 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's inside, ball one. Obviously, fuck all the oil money and the 115. But if Arsenal bottle it, it would be hilarious. Yeah, the meltdown Arsenal fans would have. Here's the 1-2. Just off the plate away, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is ripped into right, and that is going to just drift foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. Here's the 2-2. And he's popped it up right behind the pitcher's mound. The shortstop's there. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs on 2 hits, and they left 2 on base. Big opportunity missed there for Rockford. We go bottom fourth. I'm sorry, for Fort Wayne. We go bottom fourth. It is a 1-1 ball game. The 5, 6, 7 spots due up for Rockford. Doug Allison will be the first man up. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. I just had a look, Zig. 6 minutes of added time will be played. Bottom fourth, 1-1 game. Welcome back, everybody. Doug Allison is settled into the batter's box. He lined out to the pitcher his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. And he's going to take that on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to short. The throw on to first, that's in time. 1 away. It's going to bring up Joe Start. Here come all the full-time results into football. You sound so professional as a commentator, better than some of the Hey, I don't know about that. I appreciate that, though. Start singled his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. That is popped up in foul territory down the right field line. That's going to go towards the seats. It's going to land in the seats. We'll do it again at 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Check swing. They're going to ask third base umpire. Third base umpire says he went. That's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Off the plate away, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That's fouled off. Still 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ripped into center. That's going to drop. Base hit. And Start's got another single. The fifth base runner. No, I'm sorry. The fifth base runner for Rockford. Fort Wayne have had 7. Both teams only bringing 1 home. And now it's George Bird settling in. He sacrificed bunted his last at bat. Throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. First pitch. He's going to bunt it down again. Another sac bunt. They go again. 2-1. So no at bat yet for George Bird, whose sac bunt start over to second in both plate appearances so far. That'll bring up George Wright. Runner on second, 2 down for Wright. He flied out to center his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Wright. And that's going to be in there right down Broad Street for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fanned at 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is ripped into center, base hit. It's not enough to bring Start home, but it's runners on the corners with 2 down for pitcher Dick McBride. McBride lined out to the shortstop his last at bat. First pitch to McBride. Grounded over to short. The throw on to first. That's in time. And the side is retired. No runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 left on base. We go top 6. It's still a 1-1 ball game. Off the stream, mate. We'll keep you tapped. Hope you have a good stream. Sure, I will see you later, buddy. Have a great stream, Mossman. Enjoy, man. Enjoy. Right. New ending, new sponsor. Let's go. Patwitz is one of the Philippines' greatest streamers. Apex Legends, F1 manager, football manager. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The great Patwitz is our sponsor for today's 5th inning. Right. Let me close Kava's rating out. So let me just close this tab real quick. Right. Thank you so much, bro. You are welcome. It is the 1, 2, 3 spots to start here for Fort Wayne. Dickie Flowers will lead things off. He's 0 for 2 so far today. First pitch to Dickie Flowers. And that is popped up in the infield, right at the third baseman. He's there. He's got it. And that's 1 away. Count Sensendorfer settles in 1 for 2 with an RBI. Here's the first pitch to Sensendorfer. He's going to take that right down broad for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded back up the middle. Over to first. And that's in time. Shortstop makes the play. And there's 2 away. Jimmy Wood is the next man up. He's 0 for 2 so far today. First pitch to Jimmy Wood. Now he's going to take that in there. It's high, ball 1. I thought that was at the letterings. Here's the 1-0. That's high and inside, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Just catches the outside corner, 0-1 or 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High and away. The count runs full. 3-2 now. Full count. Here's the pitch. They look at third base for it, and the umpire says he did not swing. It is a 7-pitch walk for Jimmy Wood, who gets aboard. This will bring up Steve King. First pitch to him is offered at and missed. It's 0-1. King is 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the 0-1 to King, and that is high and away, ball 1. The 1-1. Fanned at and missed. It's 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch. Grounded over to second. On to first in time, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits. They leave 1 man left on base. We go bottom 5th. It's a tight game here, 1-1. 1, 2, 3 spots due up for Rockford. Cap Anson will be the first man up. We are going to take ourselves a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. The MAC game was chess at the end, Zig. Nice. Well, hey, man, at least you got the dub. That's big. You know? Right. I don't know why the playback's going on there we go. My streamer dashboard. But no, way. Welcome back. Bottom 5th. Cap Anson on the mound. Really tight ball game here. It's 1-1 halfway through. First pitch to Anson to lead off the inning. And Anson fans on that and misses. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That is inside. Did it catch the plate? No. 1-1. Let me tab here. There we go. Tab that. There we go. Right. The 1-1. That's foul down the first base side. It'll be 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that's ripped back through the center. Base hit. Anson gets his first knock of the afternoon. It's a leadoff single for the Forest Citys. That brings up George Hall. He's 0 for 2 so far today. First pitch to Hall. He's fouled that off. 0-1. So I never said this, by the way, but you know what did happen this week? I ordered off Amazon, right? Because I wanted Karma, which is that caffeinated water, but I also needed my medicine, and I needed shampoo. I'm down to the last bottle of shampoo, right? So I ordered shampoo, conditioner combo. I always order. They double shipped me. So they never gave me a tracking number, right, for the order. And then they randomly, like, they delivered, my dad ordered a Sudoku book with the order, right? So he got his book, right? And that was the only thing that came. And that was the only thing that they had told me had shipped. And, what do you call it? I was like, okay, what's the rest? And then I got an email the next day after we got the Sudoku book that said, we're sorry, but the rest of your package is delayed. So I said, okay, that's fine. The very next day it shows up. No tracking number, like I wasn't emailed anything. It just shows up. Front porch, everything's in it. 2 bottles shampoo, 2 bottles conditioner, the scorebook, the blue scorebook, this exact scorebook, another copy of that, and some like things that my mom puts around her toes to help like prevent calluses and stuff, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever, you know what I mean? And the medicine. So I'm like, all right, whatever. It showed up. It's fine. It's here. The next day, this is now Monday of this week, I get an email saying, hey, your shit shipped. And I'm like, what the fuck? And on Thursday, I had 2 packages on the porch. And the package contained this scorebook, medicine, more of the little toe things my mom wears to help prevent calluses, and shampoo and conditioner. And I was like, what the fuck? But they double ship. So now I have 4 bottles of shampoo. You know what the other thing is? I ordered deodorant in there, right? Because I was down to my last stick of deodorant. But I order a 4-pack because they're cheaper, right? So like if you buy the individual stick of deodorant, it's like $3. But if you buy a 4-pack, it's like $5. So I'm like, I'm not going to not use deodorant. I'll just buy the 4-pack, right? And then it takes me like half a year to burn through all of that stuff, right? So we're almost half a year. But that was in both shipments. So now I'm just sitting on 8 sticks of deodorant. And I'm like, the fuck? Did I go to Costco or some shit? I don't need this much deodorant. Like, I'm not going to use... It's going to take me literally probably 11 to 12 months to use all that deodorant. I mean, it's going to be used, so I'm not, like, too bothered by it. Because it's like... It's not like I'm not going to use shampoo with deodorant. And it's not like I'm not going to use the scorebook with all the out of the park we do. And what, you know what I mean? Like, I'm at the end of this scorebook. The very end of the scorebook. And it's blue. And the next one I have one that's like a fold over the top, and then I have another one in here that is red. It's the same scorebook, but red. And part of me's like, I kind of wanted the next scorebook just to be blue. That way I can say, oh, blue is the 1871 season. You know what I mean? And then I'll swap over to red, and red will be like, that's the 1872 season. You know? So, and I can keep track of it that way. But either way, like, you know, Here's the 0-1 to George Hall. He's grounded that back up the middle. Shortstop's going to go over to first. That's in time. 1 away. Anson does successfully move to second. I saw A1 Ward is still doing his subathon. He's at the very end of it. If you're not following A1 Ward, definitely give him a follow. He's playing Among Us last I checked. But his subathon, I think, goes for another hour, 40 minutes. It's a 24-hour subathon. And every time I see somebody do a subathon, especially somebody I like a lot, it makes me want to do one. But then I realize, like, I don't think I could make the subathon special enough to differentiate it between what we do on the weekends when we stream 12 hours like this on the weekends. You know what I mean? Like, I would need a purpose to do a subathon. So, I don't know. I've definitely flirted in my head with the idea of, like, a 24-hour subathon. Like, taking a week off from work and doing a subathon in that week. But I don't know if I ever want to do that. Here's the first pitch to Barnes, who settles in. That's going to be taken for a ball. It's 1-0. Barnes is 2 for 2 today. Here's the 1-0, and he has lined that into right. That's a base hit. Is Barnes going to go to second for this, but he's not going to squeeze out the double. But he is going to move Anson to third. It's runners on the corners now with 1 out. Right fielder Lip Pike settles in. He's 1 for 2. First pitch to Pike. Off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. And Pike's grounded that. The throw on to second. Do they get him? They got him. So it's a fielder's choice, 1-4. I'm sorry, that's 1-6. Flowers caught the ball, the shortstop. So 1-6. FC 1-6 for Lip Pike. They throw Barnes out at second. Now it's runners on the corners with 2 outs. Doug Allison settling in. He's 0 for 2 so far today. First pitch to Allison. He's fouled that off. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Check swing. They're gonna ask, but it's called a strike anyway. It's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is popped up, and the first baseman's there, and he makes the grab, and the side is retired. Opportunity lost for Rockford now. No runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 aboard. We go top 6 there in Rockford. It's a 1-1 ball game. 5, 6, 7 spots due up for Fort Wayne. Harry Schaefer will lead things off. First, though, new inning, new sponsor. DM Stewart is an awesome retro game speedrunning commentator. Here he is playing the original Final Fantasy. We're going to be doing that as well on stream later this month. Commentates the Final Fantasy randomizer with FF1 and the Worlds Collide randomizer for FF6. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The great DM Stewart. That nuke is so powerful. That nuke is insanely powerful, bro. That looks awesome. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to playing the original FF1. It's one of my favorites, actually, believe it or not. The original Final Fantasy 1 is one of my favorite in the whole series. Like, if you had to pin me for a top 5 in the series, I would say number 5 would be Tactics. Number 4 would be 7. Number 3 would be 1. Number 2 would be 4. And number 1 would be 6. That's kind of where I would pin the series. There's not really a whole hell of a lot after 7 that I like. 8 is okay in times. It's insufferable at others. And 9 is enjoyable. 10 has a good soundtrack, but I really hate the characters in 10. I don't like 10. And then 12 was an abomination. It's a shame. I really like the character designs on some of the characters in FF12. FF12 have some of my favorite characters in terms of the design, but the game itself is an absolute abomination. And then, what do you call it? After 12, I stopped caring about the series. I didn't play 13, didn't play 14, I haven't played 15, I haven't played 16. Right. Here's Schaefer settling in. First pitch to him. And that's outside, 1-0. Welcome in, Sue. Look, if you had one shot or one opportunity, what? Here's the 1-0. Off the plate, 2-0. To seize everything you ever wanted in one moment. These are song lyrics, and I know them, and it's escaping me what the song is. Would you capture it or just let it slip? I used to know this song too. It's gonna bug the. Here's the 2-0. That's in there for a called strike. It's 2-1. Love yourself. Mile? 8 Mile? 8 Mile? I see. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy. There's vomit in his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. Yep, nice. Nice. Lose yourself. Gotcha. Thank you. It's still morning here. Maybe I need another cuppa. Here's the 2-1. That is lined, and it's into right, and that's going to roll to the wall. That's going to be extra bases. Is it going to be a triple? No, it's a double for Harry Schaefer to lead things off. Mine's milk, 2 sugars. Mine's a splash of milk. That's it. Just a splash of milk. That's going to bring up Wes Fissler. He's 1 for 2. Runner on second. Oh, no. I'm sorry, that was a single. That was a single by Schaefer. But that pass ball gets him to second either way. Runner on second, nobody out. That's in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. Yeah. Here's the 1-1. High and away, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch off the plate, 3-1. The 3-1, he's bunted that back to the mound. The throw over to first is in time. So sack bunt for Wes Fissler. That moves Schaefer to third with just 1 out. I'll probably do that during the 7th inning stretch, is make another cup of tea. Here's Dick McBride. I'm sorry, here's Fergie Malone. He is 1 for 1 so far today. Oh, they counted that as a... Okay, never mind. Fuck. That's a fielder's choice. So he's 1 for 2 so far today. So the play in the 4th where he bunted it to try to sacrifice bunt the runner over to second, and instead the fielding team picked it up and threw it to second and got that runner out. Instead of a sack, that's been recorded as a fielder's choice by the scorer. So he's 1 for 2 today. Here's the first pitch to him. And he's going to take that for a called strike. It's 0-1. Isn't milk bad for commentary as it increases mucus? Yes, it is. I could make Yogi throat comfort tea. I could make that. Here's the 0-1. Rounded over to second. They go home. Did they get him? They got him. He's out. Six-two fielder. That's a huge out for Rockford. They got him. He tried to come home. That was Schaefer. Schaefer tried to come home. There was a really tough throw. Catcher reaches behind him. Home plate umpire rings him up. And there's two away with a runner on first, and the score is still tied. What an out. A massive out for Rockford. Now there's a runner on first, two down. Dave Birdsall settles in. He's 2 for 2. First pitch to him. That is high, ball one. Oh, they called that a strike. Now, how is that a strike? That's in there for a strike. It's over one. That looked high. That looked high to me on the animation. Doom. What's good? Here's the 0-1. That's off the plate away, 1-1. How you doing, Doom? Here's the 1-1. Throw over to second. Not in time. He stole second. It was a call to strike. Stolen base for Fergie Malone. It's 1-2 the count to Dave Birdsall. Here's the pitch. Grounded over to second. The throw on to first is in time, and the side is retired. I'm very grumpy. How are you? I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. No runs on one hit. They leave one aboard. We go bottom six. It's still 1-1. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Sorry, we got the full song there. I was handling some business real quick during that break. Right, welcome back. I wonder if there was. It's great. It's not Rounders. It's baseball, dude. I wonder if there was like a cricket baseball separation. I mean, rounders came over here, right? In like the 1820s, 1830s, rounders was over here. But they didn't like how long the game took and how undecided, like, the matches were, because of just how many runs were being scored and everything else, I believe it was. So eventually they started the like, well, if you swing and you miss, it's a strike. Or if you they started the thing where it's like, well, if you let a good pitch go and you decide not to swing on it, it's a strike. That was actually one of the early rules in baseball, is if before you were calling pitches, if you to try and speed up, yeah. Before calling pitches, I think was a thing, or right when calling pitches was a thing. If you took a ball, even if it was right down the center of the plate and everything, you just took it dead center, but you didn't swing at it, it wasn't considered a ball or anything. You just kept pitching until you put the ball in play. And what happened is people would not foul out, but they would just foul a million ground balls out. They would just foul everywhere. And fuck that. Yeah. So eventually they became, okay, well, let's implement a strike zone. And then that's when batters were like, okay, all the way up to about 1890, batters would call pitchers. They would tell the pitcher, I want you to pitch high. And if you didn't pitch high, it was a ball. And then eventually they wiped that out. The original strikeout was 4, and the original walks was 9. 9 balls to walk, 4 balls for a strikeout, or 4 strikes for a strikeout. And then that eventually whittled down by 1901, 1910, I think. And then by like 1890, they just said, well, if it's in the strike zone, if it's anywhere from the knee to the lettering, like, it's a strike, and it's over the plate, it's a strike, and if you don't swing, it's a called strike anyway. I like learning the origins, yeah. So this is the first year professional baseball. But this league actually started in like 1853, 1854, 1855, somewhere around there. And it was purely amateur. So, yeah. Like one of the franchises, which are now just known as the Athletics, they're going to become the Las Vegas Athletics. But that franchise has been around since the inception of baseball in the 1850s. I don't know if people realize that. Like the Athletics that play in Major League Baseball today, that franchise is 170 plus years old, because it started as the Philadelphia Athletics. And then they moved to Kansas City in, I think, the 40s or the 50s. And then they moved to Oakland whenever, in the 70s or something like that. And now they're moving again to Las Vegas. But that is still the same franchise from the 1850s. Do the Cubs still do the whole amateur thing? I know they had some influence. I don't know what you're referring to, unfortunately, Doom. Cuba. I don't know what you're referring to. I know the origin of the Chicago Cubs was... do Cuba still do the whole amateur thing? I still don't know what you're referring to be fair. Yeah. But I know for the Cubs, speaking of them, they start as the Chicago White Stockings, which are in this game right now, in this save. And then they become the Chicago Orphans. And then they become the Chicago Cubs. So, Cuba are big on amateur sports because of communism. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you. I do know they have probably the greatest wrestler. I think he's Greco-Roman, but I think the greatest Greco-Roman wrestler ever, like of all time, is Cuban, hands down. I think in the 90s or something, the coach of the team loaned the entire Cuban national football team to their side. Nice. FIFA stepped in. Wow. Right. Bottom sixth here. Joe Start will lead things off. He's 2 for 2. Here's the first pitch. Yeah, they shut it down. FIFA doing something right. That one's on the outside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Did you see the new tier of tickets that they created for the World Cup games, by the way? Did you see that report? I think it was the German side of Bundesliga 2. Oh, my God. Here's the 1-2. That's fouled off. 0-2. I haven't, but honestly, I can only guess it's absurd news or it's bad news. So, FIFA did what the Olympics did with their ticketing, and it's basically there's a let's say an A level, a B level, and a C level ticket, right? And the C level ticket is all the upper tier nosebleeds, and then the B level is everything in the middle, and then the A level is everything lower level, right? I have no issue with that. I understand that. I totally get that, right? Loads of ticketing places use that. And if you go up in the rafters, yes, your ticket should be cheaper, right? What they have done, though, is they've said, okay, we're going to remove the front row of all of the A-tier tickets. So if you bought an A-tier ticket and you have the front row, you no longer have the front row. They moved you to a different seat. And then all of those front row tickets are going to become an S tier, and they're double the price. And it's like, why? That's BS. Yep. Greetings, Egon. I also don't know if you saw the parking prices, but they're outrageous as well. At Foxborough Stadium, which is already egregious in fucking price, by the way. Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the Revolution and the Patriots both play. Parking is $50 on a normal match day, right? It's $50 on a normal match day just to park your car. Granted, it's like almost an hour drive outside the city, so you don't get there by public transport. You kind of have to drive there, right? So on a normal match day, it's $50 to park, which to me is just fucking outrageous. For the World Cup, that's $100 now. And for the knockout rounds at Foxborough, that's $250 to park your vehicle. So if you drive to a World Cup round of 32 or round of 16 game in Foxborough, whatever they have, it's $250 to park your car. How does that make sense? Honestly, Benny, all of this will be overshadowed by the inevitable violence that's going to happen. I see something happen. I agree, unfortunately. It's going to be. We are going to pause the topic. Yeah, Zig is right. We're borderline going on to politics, and it is a strict no politics. But I don't necessarily disagree with you, Doom. Unfortunately, I can't imagine the hotel prices. I don't even want to fucking think about the hotel prices. What's up, Bobby? Welcome in, man. Right, Joe starts settling in. Here's the. Well, I said he's already settled. Here's the 0-2. That's inside, ball one. How we doing? I'm doing really well. Per night, you got to be paid. I don't know about 1K, but they're going to be like 500. Here's the 1-2. And normally they're like 250 over here. That's fouled in. That's actually fouled back. Catcher's going to chase it down. He's got it. And starts retired. Yeah, normally you can get a decent hotel here for like 200 to 250 a night. I gotta imagine they're double. Here's George Bird selling in. He is yet to have an at bat. I'm not bad. Visited my nan today for a while. Nice. How's she doing? Here's the first pitch to Bird. And that's grounded over to third. That is an error. It's the first error. Somebody type !E. It's the first error of the game. Shortstop, I'm sorry, third baseman, Harry Schaefer gets credited with the error. Thank you. At least double, so if I go off Edinburgh at a much less prestigious event, our rooms that went for 50 quid are minimum 120. Yeah, but even then, that's 120 a night's like. Hotels rinse the area when they know they can. I went to Italy. I fucking know, mate. Had lunch with her and played some board games. Nice. All right, Zig, man. How are we doing today? Yeah. What's up, Zig? Zig's riding high, man. Macclesfield won despite being down to 10 men. It was literally the smallest room. Yeah. The hotels, by comparison, Doom, in Milan, my hotels were averaged about 300 to 350 a night, right? Expensive. But even then, originally they were only like 250, so it's like there's an upcharge for the Olympics, but it wasn't double the price at least. The hotels in Bergamo and Livigno wanted the cheapest I could find was 500 a night. Most of them were 750 to 1,000 euros a night. And I'm like, there is no fucking way I'm going to pay that. Do you know what I mean? Oof, yeah. I'm sorry to hear you're terrible, Zig. I really am, man. But I'm happy that Macclesfield gave you a little joy this weekend. Love managing them in FIFA 08. You can manage them in Football Manager 26, Bobby. Hey, bring it full circle. Here's the throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. Here's the first pitch to right, and he has ripped that into center. Center fielder's back there. It's over his head. It's over his head. Is this going to be extra base? Is this going to be a triple? He's going for it. He's safe at third, and George Wright has got an RBI triple, and Rockford have retaken the lead. It is 2-1. I'm still on FM 24 at 2046. That Prem division, boy, I don't think I've ever bought an FM. Just been game passing it, or got gifted it. Here's Dick McBride, runner on third. Rockford take the lead, 1 out. First pitch. That's in the dirt. Oh, that's a strike? The fuck? That's a strike, apparently. Angel Hernandez behind the plate. Even Champman 0-0 was given to me as a gift. Not that I'm against it, I just have it. Nice. I have only had FM 24 since it was free on Epic. Yeah, that's most good. But that's fine, man. That's how the Brazilians have had to do it. You know what I mean? Because of the difference between the Brazilian real and something about there, like SI would lose money or they wouldn't make money releasing the game in Brazil. So they sit on Game Pass waiting for it to come out on Game Pass, I'm pretty sure, in Brazil. It's either that or it's like extremely overpriced. You know what I mean? Because like the wages there don't match what what SI are asking for the game. Here's the 0-1. That's high, 1-1. Go on, nice. What's that flag? Inside, 2-1. Explain to me what that flag is, Bobby. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that is ripped right back at the pitcher. He's got it. 2 away. Oh, it's your Province flag. Nice. That'll bring up Cap Anson. He's 1 for 3. Groningen's flag. Gotcha. Here's the first pitch to Cap Anson. That's high. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That is ripped into left. That's going to drift foul, though. We'll do it again at 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's popped up in foul territory. First baseman's over there. He's going to make the grab, and the side is retired. 1 run on 1 hit, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the top of the 7th. Rockford have scratched themselves a run. They're back in the lead. It's 2-1. 9-1-2 spots due up first. It'll be George Zetlin to lead things off. He's gone live. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The awesome Mossman Games is a FM streamer who has a save at St. Johnston's. He's actually playing F1 Manager right now, which is a 2026 mod for F1 Manager, which is really cool. But he also has an FM save in St. Johnston where he has to win the league with every player being named some variation of John. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The awesome Mossman Games sponsors our 7th inning here tonight. One ball game. We go top 7th. Yeah. Everybody, he's at St. Johnston, and everybody has to be named John. So like John, Jonathan, Johnny, Juan, that sort of stuff. It's going to be George Zetlin settling in. Here we go. First pitch. John Doe, nice. John Smith. And it's on the outside part of the plate. It's 0-1. You guys know John Smith is like a pseudonym over here? Like if you have a default name, it's like a default name. Like if you ever have a movie and they want to like, you have like an extra who's like just in one specific scene, and he has to be referred to by his name. His name is like John Smith. Hey, I've heard of that. Yeah. Here's just like 555 is like a default area code. If you ever hear like in gaming or in movies or something, it's always 1-800-555 because the second part of the code, that's 555 or area code 555 for the phone, which is what starts the phone number, is because none of that's reserved specifically for art and film and gaming, so that none of those numbers are real. Don't writers do it as well? They want to be credited for a movie. I don't know. That's a good question. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's Fandat, 0-2. The 0-2. Popped up right at home plate. Catcher's there. He makes the grab. And Zetlin is retired. One away. We go back to the top of the order, and Dickie Flowers, who's 0 for 3. First pitch to Flowers. That's high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That is popped up at the third baseman. He's got it, and Flowers is sat down. Found it, nice. That'll bring up Count Sensenderfer. He's 1 for 3 so far today. First pitch. That's lined right at the first baseman. He's got it. And the side is retired. Alan Smithy, also Alan Smithy, is an official pseudonym used by film directors who wish to disown a project. Fair enough. That I never knew. Right. It is 7th inning stretch time here at the Agricultural Society Fairgrounds. As always, we leave you with this rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We will be back in 2 with more. You know what, Zig? I love Hatsune Miku streams too. You're full of random facts, Bobby. Same here in a way, right? I forgot. Sorry, I forgot the kettle takes. The kettle takes a smidge longer than just 3 minutes to boil the water. Yeah. I've got a chicken on top now too. There's a little chicken here. So, but Bobby, this is Hatsune Miku, a Vocaloid, like the most popular Vocaloid. Every game, man. Every game it's played. I've never even watched the MLB or been to a baseball game. Nice. That's been the song at the 7. I know who. I'm a weeb. So have I. Right. Some people won't know. I'm not assuming anybody know. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of guy. Right. Here's George Hall. He's going to lead things off for Rockford. Bottom 7, 2-1 game. Hall over 3. Here's the first pitch to Hall. That is ripped over to second. That's on to first. That's in time. I listened to a Vocaloid artist. Shame dude passed away. Yeah. I have to go here to box score and then go back to get the audio. There we go. I feel that way about you know what I just realized? I haven't had no wonder I'm having encoding issues. I'm being heat throttled. My laptop fan wasn't on. I feel that same way about Rumble Roses. If you guys don't know, Benakage is a character in the second Rumble Roses game. She's known as Bloody Shadow in the first one, which is what Benakage translates to. It translates to either Bloody or Crimson Shadow, right? Kage means shadow, Benny means crimson or bloody, right? And so she's a character in the second Rumble Roses game. But the artist that designed those characters passed away. He was a very well-known, very well-respected artist in Japan. He died really suddenly, really abruptly from health issues. And he died years ago. We're talking, he must have passed away like 2012, around there maybe. It might have been 2010, it might have been 2014. So Konami has the IP to the series. But they've not done anything. They've sat on that since Rumble Roses XX came out, which I think was 09. And it's looking like, and the series is very much like a cult classic in Japan. It's not very well popular, but people know the characters from it very well. And it has a very, very devout following. Got like a small niche set of fans that really follow it. But I don't think we're going to get another game, because I just think like Konami hasn't done anything with it for the better part of like 15 years. So yeah, don't think that's going to happen. So which is a shame, because the second game, the match engine was way better than the first. But there was actually story in the first game, and there wasn't in the second. And like that's why the second one was a little bit disappointing. Like the created character was cool. It was a nice feature to have. You should always be able to create your own wrestlers. And all the different outfits and the arenas and the match types. And they got rid of the crap match type from the first game. And like all of that was really good. And then they didn't give anybody a story. And I'm like, fuck! That was the whole point. We played the first one. Right. Got this intern at work. She's like 20, asking me what I was jamming to. So I said Shiny, and her whole face just lit up. I was able to up my bit rate since the comp upgrade. See, that doesn't make sense to me, because your bit rate should not matter on your computer performance. Bit rate is literally internet connection speed. If you're having issues, it's like with it, I don't know. Like, to me, the bit rate is all, but it can also, if you've upgraded your computer, it usually means probably that OBS is taking a lot less demand on it. And that obviously helps with your GPU, CPU, whatnot. So, but either way, I'm glad that your computer upgrade has helped a lot. Your streams look great, man. Right, here's the first pitch to Ross Barnes. Barnes is currently 3 for 3 today. It was a bottleneck before. Oh, you know what? Did you upgrade the card, like the Ethernet card or the Wi-Fi card in the computer? Was that part of the upgrade? That's taken for a ball. It's 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That is grounded over to third. That's an error. Uh-oh. Error time. Took me months to find out why my game lagged if I streamed FIFA. Bloody Steel Series GG was running in the background of taking 30% of my GPU. Yeah. I have it on the old laptop, but I don't have it on this one. But then again, the old laptop, nothing's running on the old laptop anymore. Like, I can run Unreal Tournament on it. That's great. I can browse the internet on it. That's great. That is all I can do on it because it is too old. It is a 7700K processor. So it's an Intel i7 7th gen processor. And it's a 1070 NVIDIA. So, and it's got 16 gigs of RAM. So it's very much not top of the line by any stretch of the imagination anymore. I did buy the laptop in 2018, though. So the laptop is 8 years old. So, speaking of which, I should probably turn it on. Right. Because I have some files to back up. Here's Lip Pike, right fielder. 1 for 3 so far today. First pitch to Pike. And he's going to take that for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 to Pike. It's in the knees. Throw over to second. They're going to get him. They gunned him down. And he was caught stealing. Ross Barnes caught stealing at second. 2 outs now for Lip Pike. And the pitch was called a ball, so it's 1-1. I just need to get Dropbox up on the old PC. Because I'm trying to back up the Unreal Tournament files on it. So I can bring them over to the new system. So. And, yeah. Anyway. 1-1 count the Lip Pike. Here's the pitch. That's grounded back to second. Throw over to first. It's in time. That'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top 8th. 2-1 Rockford. 3, 4, 5 spots due up for Fort Wayne. Jimmy Wood will lead things off. I had to make a note as well to back up my commissions now that I've started to get them in, back up those files. So I started backing them up, but I've had like 2 or 3 since, and I haven't backed them up. Right, new ending, new sponsor. Raz DeBeer is an awesome Football Manager streamer. Here he is playing FM26. He's got an offline save with Pompey Women. And he does a network save with Lewitt Gaming on Sundays. And a red card. Whew. Penalty and a red card. Oh, my God. The praying right before the penalty kick. Yeah. She was sent off. Yeah. Amazing. That's a weird bug. Right, go give him a follow. Raz is a really good FM streamer, actually. So you got Pompeii Women as his offline save. He's part of a network save with Lewitt Gaming. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Raz the Beer will sponsor our 8th inning here tonight. Jimmy Wood 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the first pitch to Wood. That is taken right down Broad Street for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded over to first. And the throw, did he get him? He's got him in time. It's 1 away. That'll bring up Steve King. Here's the first pitch to King. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. King 0 for 3 today. Here's the 0-1. Check swing. They're going to ask second base. And it's called strike anyway. 0-2. Here's the 0-2 to King. Fouled it off. 0-2 still. Here's the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, ball 2. And the count is now 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This is shot into left, drifting foul. It will land foul. It just hits off the wall, foul. The 2-2. Popped it up. Shallow center. Shortstop's there. He makes the grab. That's the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Charlie Smith. Is that a substitute? Yeah, that's a substitute. What's up, Pingu? How you doing, Pingu? So Schaefer is subbed out. He'll finish 1 for 3. Not much. You doing good? I'm doing great. Pingu, I got another piece of art back. Let me hit you up. Let me hit you up real quick. I got another piece of art back, bro. Pingu. Hold on. I'm sending it to you right now. Fuck yeah, yeah. Wild, that one, by the way. That one's insane. That's fucking the shading. I know. That's I've seen that before with like her art, and I'm like, fuck, it's so good. Like her art's insane. Let me see if I can get her get another example of it for you real quick. Like, cause she did a piece, and I'm just like, I've got to commit. She did Kasumi. That's right. She did Kasumi from Dead or Alive. This was the last piece she did before I commissioned her. But she's done Ivy Valentine from like SoulCal. There's 4 pictures in that post, by the way. Yeah. Like, what an insane artist. Such a good artist. So, yeah, I've been following her for a while, and I'm like, I gotta get it. She's actually said, yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. Soul Calibur, yeah. Here's the link to the Soul Calibur post if you want it, Bobby. That's the art she did. So that's who I just got. I got that piece overnight. I woke up to that in my inbox. I was like, whew. It's so, like, and that's her earlier work. That's her 2022, 2023 art. Like that, like her art now is just even more detailed. It's insane. It's so good. The one that blew me away about the Kasumi as well is the detailing on the, I don't know what else you would call it, but like the curtain part of, because Kasumi always has she has the thing that meets in the center, and then the band, like the kimono band, and then it's a curtain, right? But the detailing on the curtain part, because traditionally in the game, um, it's solid blue, but then when you move into like DOA 2 and 3 and 4, it's like that Japanese like giant wave, like the tsunami painting kind of wave, like that's the pattern on the curtain part, and like she's got that detailed down to just insane levels, and I'm like, holy moly. Yeah, great art, to be fair. Yeah. Not the worst thing to wake up to. No. So, uh yeah. I'm just what an incredible artist. So when I saw that, I was like, I'm gonna commission her, and yeah, I'm glad I did. So I want to, in probably like May or June, whenever she opens up commissions again. Whenever she opens up commissions, I'm going to probably commission her to do another one of her, of the character in the suit, and for a football manager. You know what I mean? If I had money for commission, I went wild. Yeah, I got to pull it in. Going to Lurk, got infections, but I'm so frustrated with no working out, so you're forcing yourself to exercise. Sounds good, dude. Good luck, man. Did you hear D-Boy's new single? I have not. I have not. Right, here's Charlie Smith. First pitch to him. That is a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Fandat missed 0-2. I updated the VSona with it, so it's on VSona now as well, with the accreditation, with linking to their Patreon. So, going to be art. You know what? I don't even. You know what, Pingu? That's not even like. Have I shown you the full VSona page? Like bro. I'm literally going to upload every piece to you right now. Get ready. I hope you're ready. Which one did I get you before? Oh, I did the suit one before. Here comes 110 megabytes. Get ready. 9 files, 110 megabytes. Nitro the goat? Yeah. It's about 2/3 of the way there. Right. Here's the 0-2. Fouled off. Stays 0-2. I want to know which one's your favorite, or which one's like some of your favorites. Here's the 0-2. That is ripped into center, base hit, and the pinch hitter comes through. Schaefer's aboard with 2 outs. I like the alt outfit one I got. That's the second one by Booped Snoot. The alt outfit, that's really good. I like that. I got a lovely evening ahead of me. Nice. What you doing? Here's Wes Fizzler settling in. FC Groningen in an hour, and then an hour after that, Ajax. Nice. Fizzler is 1 for 2. The throw over to second, not in time. And Charlie Smith has a stolen base. It was a called strike. Number 2 and number 5. So number 2 is Booped Snoot. Number 5 is the one where like the camera's behind her, right? That one is done by who was that one actually? That one was done on Skeb by Pony Salmon. So that was a Japanese artist. Booped Snoot is a Dutch artist. So they're all amazing. I know. I'm so happy. So I got that dopamine hit this morning. I was like, art. I woke up to my taxes being done and having a new art piece. And I had a commission on Skeb get approved. The artist approved a commission for me on Skeb. So I have another one coming. I looked at him. It was his first. One of the things I've done on Skeb is on the very beginning, like on the homepage, if you scroll towards the bottom, it'll say newer artists. And I scrolled and I found one, and I always look through them. The guys that just have joined, like the artists that have just joined Skeb. And this dude wanted he wanted 3,000 yen to do a piece. And I'm like, dude, that's like $20. I'm like, that's pretty reasonable. So I reached out and I submitted the request. And I'm like, I'll pay you 4,000 yen. I'll give you like $27, $28. And I woke up to a notification that they accepted the request. So this might be a weekly thing if I find artists that are like around that price point. I wouldn't mind doing it every week or other week. I gotta run. Dinner's ready. Sounds good. We're gonna do Benny versus Chat, the Kraken game after this. So you got time. Here's the 0-1. That is gonna get by. Could be nightmare fuel now for Rockford. It's a passed ball. And going to third is Smith. It's a 1-1 count. They need one out to get out of the inning. Keep that coming. I will. Here's the 1-1. Off the plate, 2-1. 90 feet away now. Here's the 2-1. That has popped up in foul territory. That's going to land in the seats down the third base. Oh, no! It stays in, but it's fumbled. It's an error on Limp Pike. He could have ended the inning. Pike could have gotten Rockford out of the inning. It is another error. This time the first for Rockford, and instead, thank you, Bobby, it's a 2-2 count. Here's the 2-2. High ball 3. The count is full. Here's the payoff pitch. Grounded over to second. The throw on to first is in time, and they get out of the inning either way. No runs on one hit, and they left one aboard. We go bottom 8th here in Rockford. The Forest Citys holding on by a nail. They lead 2-1. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Epic Tunes here. I see what you did there. Sorry for the little bit of an extended break. I actually was answering a DM on VGen from another artist who I've already accepted, who we've already been working on a commission for. Right. Bottom eighth, it's the 5, 6, 7 spots due up here for Rockford. Doug Allison will lead things off. He sent me 2 shading samples and was like, hey, I forgot to, like, put the accent colors in the boots. He's like, do you want them to, like, are you okay with them staying plain, or do you want them to be accented? And he goes, what do you, and then I've also shaded it 2 different ways. Which shading do you like better? So I was like, I like option 1, and you can keep them plain. It's fine. There's deviation from artist to artist is totally okay. Like, I'd actually welcome that. Right. Allison is 0 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Allison. That's fouled off. Back to the screens. It'll be 0-1. There's the 0-1. That's caught the outside corner, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Lined foul down the first base side will stay 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Chop foul down the first base side again. It'll be 0-2 still. The 0-2 pitch. It's taken off the plate, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Second baseman comes in for it. He makes the grab. And Doug Allison is retired. Joe Start, the next man in. Start is 2 for 3 today. Here's the first pitch to him. He's chopped that foul, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Off the plate away, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That is, I think it's high, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Ripped into right. The right fielder's there, though, and he makes the play, and Joe Start is sat down. That one held up there. Looked like it really went for it at first, and then it just looked like it got caught up in the outfield and held up there for the right fielder to come in and make the play. That'll bring up George Bird. He is 0 for 1 so far today. First pitch to Bird. He's fanned at that one, 0-1. 0-1. Offered and missed. 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Shot deep into right. Way back there. One bounce. Is that a ground rule double? No. That's going to be a triple, isn't it? Sliding into third is George Bird. It's a triple. I thought that was going to bounce into the stands and be a ground rule double, but you know what, whatever. Right, that brings up George Wright, the shortstop. He is 2 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Wright. Runner on third, 2 down. And that's taken off the plate away, 1-0. Maybe some insurance runs here if Rockford can bring this man in. The 1-0 is fouled off, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's lined into center. Is that going to drop? Base hit. Wright brings him home. He's got an RBI single. And Rockford have extended the lead. It's 3-1. That's a huge run to scratch across. Here's Dick McBride. He's 0 for 3. Fouled off. It'll be 0-1. That's a massive run to bring home. Here's the 0-1. That's lined into right. Is that going to drop? Base hit. McBride keeps the inning going. And he's going to go for 2. He's got a double. Going to third is Wright. And it's second and third now with 2 outs. Cap Anson back to the map, back in the batter's box. He's 1 for 4 today. First pitch to Anson. Off the plate, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. On the outside corner for a called strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Anson has ripped this into right. That's going to hold up there for the right fielder, though. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. 1 run on 3 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the 9th. It's 3-1 Rockford. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 spots due up. Fergie Malone will be the first man up. FMG&G is an awesome Irish football manager streamer. Give him a follow if you haven't already. FMG, he also does great YouTube content with a Jobless to Greatness YouTube series. Give him a follow if you haven't already. FMG&G is our sponsor for our 9th inning here tonight. Fergie Malone in the batter's box. He is 1 for 3 so far today. Yes. End of the first half, though. Here's the first pitch. That's off the plate, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's high, 2-0. Here's the 2-0. Fouled off, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Off the plate inside, 3-1. Hitters count the Fergie Malone. Here's the pitch. He's ripped that into right center, base hit. And Malone is the leadoff man. He's aboard. I forgot half the time teams are even playing. Yeah. Here's Ralph Ham is going to settle in. So Dave Birdsall finishes 2 for 3. Ralph Ham is coming in to pinch hit. Here's the first pitch to Ham, and he's taking that. Is that at the knees? It is at the knees for a called strike. Here's the 0-1. That's in there, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Inside, ball 1. The 1-2. Fouled off. Stays 1-2. 1-2 pitch. High and in, 2-2 now. The 2-2. Shot into right. Right fielder comes in, he's got it. And Ralph Ham is retired. That's going to bring up George Zetlin, the pitcher. Runner on first, 1 down. Here's the first pitch to Zetlin. He's taking that high and away, ball 1. The 1-0 is popped up in foul territory in left field. That one's going to go to the seats. 1-1 to count. The 1-1 pitch. Waved at and missed. 1-2. The 1-2 is shot into right. That is going to drift foul. We'll do it again at 1-2. The 1-2 popped up in the infield, right at third base. Third baseman's there. He makes the grab. That's 2 away. Tying run is at the plate, but they are down to their last out. Dickie Flowers, 0 for 4. First pitch to him. That is taken inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Offered at and missed it. It's 1-1. The 1-1 is popped up in left. Left fielder's there. He makes the grab, and the ball game is over. Rockford come in against Fort Wayne in a huge 2-game series, and they take both games 14-2 on the road and 3-1 here at home. The final score: Fort Wayne 1, Fort Wayne Kekiongas 1, the Rockford Forest Citys 3. That's a big win for Rockford. They move level now with the Chicago White Stockings at the top of the National League. A huge win for them. The pennant race is not over in the National League. It's not really over yet in the American either, but it's a bottleneck at the top in the National League. And this was a big ground-shaking win for Rockford, who climb above 500 for the first time since opening day of the season. Right, let's do the statistics now, shall we? The batting statistics for the visiting Fort Wayne Kekiongas. By the way, before we begin, go give Billy a follow. He is not got a PC to stream right now, but we're going to try and see if we can get him back on his feet. Thank you for the lurk, Viva Listam. Awesome, just a class individual and an awesome member of the FM community as a whole. You'll find him everywhere. D streams, David streams, Mad Scientist streams, Brownie streams, Parksy streams. You'll find him absolutely everywhere. KXJ streams. He is a wonderful human being. The great retro gamer. Shout out to him. He will sponsor our post-game show here today. Right, let's do the statistics, starting with the visiting Fort Wayne Kekiongas. Dickie Flowers, 5 at-bats, no hits. Count Sensender for 4 at-bats. 1 hit, 1 RBI. Jimmy Wood, 3 at-bats, no hits, but a base on balls. Steve King, 4 at-bats, no hits, a strikeout. Harry Schaefer, 3 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 fielding error. Wes Fizzler, 3 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 sacrifice. Fergie Malone had 4 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 run. Dave Birdsall had 3 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 of which was a double. George Zetlin had 4 at-bats. He had 1 hit. Charlie Smith had 1 at-bat. He had a hit and a stolen base. And Ralph Ham had 1 at-bat. He did not have a hit. Your your totals for the Fort Wayne Kekiongas: 5 and 4 is 9, and 3 is 12, and 4 is 16, and 3 is 19, and 3 is 22, and 4 is 26, and 3 is 29, and 4 is 33, and 1 is 34, and 1 is 35. 35 at-bats. 1 run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. 1 double. No triples. No home runs. 1 base on balls. 1 strikeout. 1 stolen base. 1 sacrifice. 1 RBI. 1 fielding error. Your batting statistics for the Rockford Forest Citys: Cap Anson, 5 at-bats, 1 hit. George Hall, 4 at-bats, no hits. Ross Barnes, 4 at-bats, 3 hits, including a triple. He also scored a run. Lip Pike, 4 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 fielding error. Doug Allison, 4 at-bats, no hits. Joe Start, 4 at-bats, 2 hits. George Bird, 2 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 triple, 2 sacrifices, 1 run. George Wright, 4 at-bats, 3 hits, 1 triple, 2 RBIs. And Dick McBride, 4 at-bats, 1 hit. That was a double. Your total batting statistics for the Rockford Forest Citys: 5 and 4 is 9, and 4 is 13, and 4 is 17, and 4 is 21, and 4 is 25, and 2 is 27, and 4 is 31, and 4 is 35 as well. So both teams had an equal number of at-bats. There should be another run on here. Who scored the run? Oh, I'm sorry. George Bird had 2 runs, not 1 run. He had 2 runs. So 3 runs total. Hits 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 11, 12. Doubles 1. Triples 3. Base on balls 0. Strikeouts 0. Stolen bases 0. Sacrifices 2. RBIs 2. And fielding errors 1. Right. The pitching statistics now. For the Fort Wayne Kekiongas, George Zetland goes 8 innings. He gets credited with the loss. He will drop to 10-10 on the season. Pitch count, I have him at 102. Right. Walks, he did not walk. He did not strike out. He gave up 13 hits, 3 runs, and 2 of them were earned. Dick McBride gets credited with the win. He improves to 11-9 on the season. He had 9 innings pitched. His pitch count 124. He had 1 walk. He struck out 1. He gave up 9 hits, 1 run. It was earned. And there you go. Official attendance was 1,315. Game time 2 hour 18. And that is that. So what we're going to do is we're immediately going to save the game. And we're going to advance the day. And here are your options. Here's your option. So chat gets the pick. We're going to run a poll. We're going to run a poll. We're not going to do it today, but we're going to run a poll. The poll is running for 3 minutes. Which game would you like us to cover next? You have the worst team in baseball, the 4-18 Troy Haymakers, who have not won a single game on the road in 10 trips at the National League, joint National League leading Chicago White Stockings, who are currently sitting at 9-7. So Chicago with a win there will jump back ahead in the National League by a half game. Troy, a loss here would put them on the brink of elimination. A loss there means that if Troy lose that game, it means that they're 1 Troy loss, 1 Chicago win away from being eliminated. The other option is Washington at Cleveland. We have not done a Washington Olympics game in quite a long time. One of these is a reschedule from a rained-out 23rd of June. The last time we have covered a Washington game, 3, 4 games back, 5 games back, 6 games back, 7 games back, 8 games back, 9 games back, 10 games back, 11 games back, 12 games back, 13 games back, 14 games back. The last time it was 15 games ago since we covered a Washington game. The Washington did win that 7-2. It was over Troy. It was back on the 20th of June in 1871. So it's been almost an entire in-game month since we even covered the Olympics. Mainly because we were actually going to do that game on the 23rd, but it got rained out. So you get your pick of the next game. The worst team in baseball and the worst team in the National League at the National League, the joint National League leaders, or you get the Washington Olympics 7-11 at the Cleveland Forest Citys. In that game, the American League, Cleveland trailed the Boston Red Stockings by 2.5 games. So a win for Cleveland in that game pulls them within 2 games of the American League lead. The win for Washington pulls them within 5.5 and keeps their dreams alive. They would move to 8-11. A loss there would move them, I think, 7 games back, or no, 6.5 games back. And they would move to they would be on the verge as well, but not as much as Troy. I mean that's going to be their 19th game of the season, so that would be 13 games left, and it'd be 6.5 back. Washington at Cleveland will be the next game. Okay, it's won the vote 3-1. Let's look at your standings. Yeah, let's take a look at it. So Troy is at Chicago. Troy lose that game, they will move 9 games. I'm sorry, we are not joint leaders. We are a half game back. So if Troy win that game, we will become joint leaders of the National League with Chicago. If Chicago win the game, they will move a full game ahead of us at 10-7. And if Chicago win that game, Troy will be 9 games back with 9 to play, meaning any remaining loss from Troy or any remaining win from Chicago would officially eliminate the Troy Haymakers from the pennant race. Over in the American League, Washington at Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland's 2.5 back. So if they win that game, they pull within 2. They move to 11-7. They'll pull. They would move to 11-6. They'd pull within 2 games of Boston. If Washington win that game, Cleveland drop 3 games behind. Washington move up to 6 games back, and it allows Boston a little bit more space at the top. So those are your standings. Those are your scenarios for the next game, which is going to be on it's the 16th of July in 1871. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 games left in July to cover. And then we're going to be into August. So I think we're definitely getting there, Chad. I think we're going to get there. I think you'll see. I think in the summertime you'll see us at the World Series. I genuinely think sometime maybe in the late summer we're going to get to the World Series. It's going to be. I don't know how we're going to do a big occasion for it or whatnot, but we need to be something special for it. I think because this save has been going since June of 2025. It is April of 2026, and we are in the second half of the season. We are getting close to the end. Or at least closer to the end. Right. If you're on YouTube, thank you for watching. Catch us in the next one. Washington at Chicago will be the next game. So, except not on the 31st. It'll be, Washington at Cleveland will be the next game. So catch us for that one. Until then, thank you for watching. Take care.